Hey guys, Jmans Productions on the Jzone. Here with a video on my thoughts and somewhat predictions on just before E3. The E3 Expo, as you all know, is like the biggest gaming convention expo that there is, and the next one being the Tokyo Game Show. But a lot of things that need to be addressed this year, and I think this year will be really focused on hardware, so I really want to get into that as well. Just before I get into the actual video, the Sony welcome back package thing, very glitchy and it had a lot of errors. I heard a lot of people were finding it hard to get their games. I got my games, Infamous and Wipeout. Infamous, by the way, very awesome game. I can't believe I slept on that game, but it's a really good game. I've actually done there's 3 districts you have to complete. I've already done the first district, and I'm playing it on the good side, but it's a good game. But anyway, let's just get on to the video, because I want to watch Blue Exorcist and Dead Man Wonderland episodes 8, but let's get on with it. First off, Sony. I've got my notes down here, so if I'm looking down, you know why. Sony. There's a lot of things, like Sony, I'm the most excited. No, how am I going to put this? Sony, in terms of software, I'm most excited for, but I'm actually most angry at Sony at the same time, because one of the things they need to address is the whole PlayStation Network thing. They need to try and upgrade that and lift it up to Microsoft standards. I think what they may do at this E3 is just say, we're going to get serious with our online, we want to bring these guys back to it, because I'm happy that they did the welcome back package. It's just that I want to see Sony do more with the online, especially for those PlayStation Plus users that are paying for it. What was the other thing I wanted to touch? Yeah, another reason why I'm angry with Sony is that they, all the time, they do this every single E3. They announce big things before the E3. We had the whole PSP titles being remastered. That was announced before E3. What if that was announced during E3? Loads of people would be excited and pumped for that. But they announced that before E3. There was a whole Kojima announcing all of these little collections, the Metal Gear Solid one. Can't remember, there was 2 other games that they were announcing, but for me, they shouldn't have announced all of those collections before E3. I think Sony should get it together and try and make sure their announcements aren't before E3, because it can get a bit stupid. But actually, the thing is with the Metal Gear Solid collection and the other collections, they're coming to Xbox as well, so maybe that was the reason. But still, Sony, try not to announce too many things, because we know a lot about the games already now. I mainly think Sony are going to push the NGP, because the exclusives this year for the PS3, there's so many already, and there's so many we know about, that I just think they're just going to push the NGP. They may talk about a few new PS3 titles, but I think they'll talk about the ones we already know right now. But the NGP definitely is going to be the main focus, in my opinion. But the problem with the NGP, although I'm hyped to it and everything, is the price point. The price point, they're really going to have to do something to get players to get into the NGP. I might annotate the video I did on the NGP, but the price point and the fact that they need to bring something new to the NGP to make sure that it's just not a PS3 in your pocket. Even though some people would like that, they need to try and expand it from just that sort of audience. So yeah, another thing, this is just a prediction. I don't know if this is going to happen. You know, the game developer Epic Games, the guys that do Gears of War and all that, it would be awesome if they announced the game for Sony, announced the game for the PS3. That's just a prediction I'm throwing out there. It probably won't happen, but that would be really, really good if they were to do that. Another thing, Kingdom Hearts 3. We want to see Kingdom Hearts 3. Goodness sake. Someone needs to we need that Kingdom Hearts 3. That's what I'm going to say. I've talked about that game too much. Also, Sony, address Last Guardian. We haven't seen too much of Last Guardian. We haven't even seen gameplay. It's just like last A3, I think it got left down the dust. We didn't see any Last Guardian, and that was one of the games that a lot of people were excited for, because it sort of reminisced Shadows of the Colossus. So loads of people were really excited for that game, and there was no talk of it. Another thing I want Sony to address, definitely, please address the move. The move. The people will say it's the no move as a joke, because really there aren't really any good games for the move. There are a few okay ones, like the Sports Champions, the Fight. That's about it that I've seen. Also Sorcery. Where is Sorcery? We want to see more gameplay of that. That looks like a really interesting game. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to buy the move, but Sorcery is just nowhere to be seen. So I don't know. I really want to see some more from that game. Just some more move support. The people that are buying the moves, they have nothing to play with it. So Sony, try and push the move. Really, Sony, there is a lot I could say about them, but really I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna talk about games that we already know the titles and that we already announced for, which is not bad, but yeah. They'll probably talk about Twisted Metal, Ratchet & Clank All for One, and more Uncharted 3, which is awesome. So really, I am hyped for the Sony E3, but there are a few things that annoy me about them. Please address the PSN issue, address the move, and yeah, moving on to the Nintendo. Nintendo, I'm actually really hyped for Nintendo, because this generation I kind of skipped their console. In the previous generations I was always with Nintendo, but I kind of fell out of it this generation. Even though I'm not saying the Wii was bad, it was pretty good, but there wasn't enough there for me. But let's just go into what I think about Nintendo. Obviously there's that, they're gonna have to try and push for the hardcore gamers and bring back certain people like me that sort of fell out of Nintendo for a while. Just bring back the hardcore gamers. I like the casual thing. The casual thing's awesome because it brings in more money to the gaming industry in general, and the rise of casual gamers, in my opinion, has been pretty good, because I want more people to be able to access some of these games and get to play them, but push for more hardcore games now. So, one thing everyone's talking about is the new console, the stream, the Wii HD, whatever it is, but for the purposes of this video I'm going to call it the Wii HD. The Wii HD, I don't know what they're going to do with it. Are they going to abandon the motion controls thing? Because I don't think they would, but are they going to abandon that? That's one thing I really want to know. And like the whole thing, the graphical specs of it, that really intrigues me, because we're hearing a lot of things. We're hearing the controller is going to have a touch screen, it's going to have a camera, you're going to be able to take a game, play it on the controller, and then just go on from there and save it and all of that stuff. That would be a pretty expensive controller, and coming from Nintendo usually want to make their console cheap and make a lot of money off of that hardware. They usually want to keep the costs low, so I don't know, that one really freaks me out. I'm not sure if Nintendo are going to go that powerful with their system. I reckon their system will be more powerful than the PS3 and Xbox, but I reckon when the new consoles come out for the other two, for Microsoft and Sony, I reckon they'll be more powerful than the Wii HD. But all we really want to see is a pretty decent Wii console. We don't want to see something that's the same as the original Wii. We want to see some of those really great first-party titles in HD, and that's one of the things I want to say. I reckon Nintendo are gonna, along with the Wii HD, what they will do is talk about some of the launch titles for the Wii HD. Probably gonna be, obviously there's gonna be a new Mario game. Zelda's, that's something I want to get onto later on. There'll be a new Mario game, maybe Donkey Kong, maybe Kirby, I'm not sure, maybe a Star Fox Wii HD game. I'm interested to see what titles they'll announce for that. Going back to Zelda, this is a conversation that a lot of Zelda fans are really speculating. Some people think that Nintendo are going to push back Zelda to the Wii HD, and I think that's not going to happen at all, because with Twilight Princess, there was a lot of complaints that the game it looked too much like a GameCube game, And what I don't think Nintendo want to do that the same thing with Skyward Sword. Move that to the Wii HD, and it looks too much like a Wii game, because you know they're gonna have, because it's built for the Wii at the moment, that if they port it over, it might still look like a Wii game. So I don't think they're gonna do that with Skyward Sword. I actually think they're gonna release that still on the Wii. Also, there's a thing that's up in the air that I said, motion controls. Skyward Sword was really based on the motion control. So if Nintendo, we don't know what Nintendo are gonna do with motion control. So I think it's safe to say that Skyward Sword will be released for the Wii, and that it won't be pushed over to the Wii HD. But that being said, we don't know. It's Nintendo. They're always delaying games because they rather have a game that's delayed than it being broken, which I think is a good philosophy, and I think more developers should sort of follow, more companies and developers should sort of follow that initiative. But who knows? Also, I think they're gonna focus a little bit on the Wii, like make the Wii go off with a bang. Obviously that Zelda. I don't know what else they will put out for the Wii. Maybe 2 or 3 more new Wii games, make it go out with a bang. But I think the thing that they'll focus on the most is the 3DS, because it had a really weak launch, and there were so many games they showcased in the last E3 that they were talking about, so many different developers making games for the 3DS, and we haven't seen much of that. The best game out there, arguably, is probably Street Fighter, or maybe Dead or Alive, one of the two, and we still want to see some more Kid Icarus. There was a Metal Gear game for it. Obviously there's that Sonic game that's coming to Sonic Generations I'm hyped for. There's a Kingdom Hearts game as well for the 3DS. There was loads of games they showcased. Ninja Gaiden game as well. So I want to see something from that. I don't think there's much else to say about Nintendo. I don't know. I just think they will focus mainly on the 3DS. So moving on to also to add to Nintendo, I forgot to say this. I think Nintendo are going to focus on their online as well. I thought I'd throw that out there, but I reckon everybody already knows about that. But and Nintendo are going to do the whole, they need to get the third-party support for their games. I said a lot about Nintendo, that's why I cut it off, but online and third-party support for Nintendo, I think, I know I sort of bash Microsoft a lot, but I'm going to say something positive. I think they will surprise us, and I think there will be the Xbox 720. But the thing is about the Xbox 720, I think it will have built-in Kinect support, because Microsoft are making a lot of money on the Kinect. It surprised me. I thought this thing was a piece of junk, but it's actually selling well. I reckon they will concentrate a lot on the Kinect. I really do think they're going to announce 720 with the built-in Kinect support, but I don't know. I really don't know. The only 2 exclusives we know about are Gears of War and Forza, and those are the only 2. That's what I'm thinking. They don't have anything announced. It doesn't look like they're going to have any new games ready, so it might be time to move on to the 720, or at least announce it. I know some people are like, no, it's too early. How is it too early for them to announce the console? I think like announcing and releasing are 2 different things. So I don't know, because I just don't see any new Xbox exclusives coming out. But I do think they will go with the 720. I think they will have some surprises because there's nothing out there. So I reckon they will have a few good surprises for the Xbox gamers. I don't know what else to say, because it's all out in the air with Microsoft. We don't know too much about what Microsoft's actually going to do. So people talk about Microsoft to me, because I have no idea what these guys are going to do. I'm going to move on to just the last part where I talk about who I think is going to win, and just a bit about third-party developers. Third-party games I'm looking forward to the most would probably have to be Skyrim and Batman Arkham Asylum, Dragon's Dogma I think it's called, that it looks like a cool action RPG. and Ashura's Wrath, which looks like God of War on steroids. But those are the games, third-party games, I'm looking forward to seeing the most. Two of those games were actually Capcom games, and in terms of developers, I think we need to look out for Capcom. Definitely, I want to see some type of new Mega Man game from them. Also, I reckon some the developers that are going to come out are Bungie. Bungie are going to have a few awesome announcements. I'm predicting. Insomniac, maybe Insomniac may come out with some new type of shooter or something. I'm not sure. Respawn as well. But I don't know. This is all out in the air from what I'm going to say. But I really do want to see. I want to see some more RPGs. I agree with what Zobi70 said. I really want to see some great RPGs because there's been a decline in them, especially from the way Square Enix have just gone down with their Final Fantasy series. And when I say RPGs, I mean more JRPGs. Western RPGs, I think they're doing pretty good, but JRPGs, it seems to be lacking. Obviously, I want to see Nintendo's first-party games in HD, and I want to see just Mario in HD in general. I want to see what Sega are doing with Sonic, Mega Man game, as I said, and Kingdom Hearts 3, please. The Last Guardian, I want to see more gameplay of as well. But I think, oh yeah, one game I forgot to mention, Ninja Gaiden 3. I'm really anticipating that game. I want to see what they do with them. I really like Ninja Gaiden 2, and I didn't complete 1, but from what I played of 1 was pretty fun. So yeah, I want to see those games. And NIS America, please bring over some titles, please. The two games I want them to bring over are Bleach Soul Ignition and One Piece 3DS. Just bring over those two titles. I'll be a happy British kid. But bring over those two titles, and I reckon a lot of anime/gamer fans like me will be happy. So yeah, overall, the company I think will win out of the big three. I'm gonna say, it's always going to be either Nintendo or Sony, but out of them two, I reckon Nintendo, because if Nintendo do things right and they announce the new system, it's got good third-party support, nice online, just all of the things we've been anticipating, decent sort of price point they'll announce and all of that stuff, just some nice games for the 3DS and a little bit of Wii love. If Nintendo do like what I think they will do and do things right, I reckon they'll win. They'll just win overall. No question about that. Even though I know Sony have a lot of great things going for them this year and a lot of bad things actually going for them this year, but I just really do think Nintendo are going to steal the show if they do things right. So guys, what are your predictions for E3? What do you want to see? What games? What developers do you think are going to bring out some great stuff? Just one thing, I just want to say this. Please, Kingdom Hearts 3 for the PS3. A lot of us will be happy. Please do that. I don't know. Also, another game I forgot to miss out on. Not just Kingdom Hearts 3. Half-Life 3. We need a Half-Life 3. I know a lot of people are waiting for that. Half-Life 3 would be great. So those are the two games that I really want to see announcements for. But anyway, this video's dragged on for long enough. I'm going to watch Denman Wonderland Episode 8 and some Blue Exorcist after that. And probably study after that because I need to study for exams. But anyway, Jmans Productions on the Jzone. I kind of spazzed out there because I'm running like 2 or 3 channels now. But yeah, catch you guys on the next video. Tell me your predictions. Yeah, E3 time starting on Tuesday.